Hey, Christina, welcome back.
Hi, Sydney. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Thanks for rejoining me this week to talk about the next kind of section we want to talk about with the Sora Sweet Reads program. I'm going to pull up what we're talking about this week because I'm extra excited about it. Hopefully we can move up here. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So this week we want to talk about another kind of bundle of books, pulling some cool ones out of our Sweet Reads program. And we decided that this week we were going to talk about trying new formats. So what have you got for us this week?
Well, with this one, we actually have quite a few different formats represented in the program. So this is just a sampling. We have audiobooks this year. Audiobooks were actually what were our most popular format in last year's program. Our highest number of checkouts occurred through our audiobooks. So we definitely wanted to make sure those were represented, We also have a ton of graphic novels or comic books. And then we also have a read-along that we'd like to talk about. So again,
nice.
Just a sample, but I felt like these were a good mix to talk about today to keep people excited.
Yeah, for sure. So have you read, or is this listening to The Way You Make Me Feel?
I have. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. I love To All the Boys I Loved Before. I love the films on Netflix. I love the book. And The Way You Make Me Feel actually kept getting recommended in my Goodreads and on Sora. So I was like, okay, fine. So I read it. I did not listen to it. So I'm actually wondering, I'm excited that it's an audiobook because it's so funny that I feel like as an audiobook it would be like even more hilarious. So talking about The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. It is read to us by Emily Wu Zeller. It's an audiobook, as I noted. Maureen wrote, sorry about that. Maureen wrote I Believe in a Thing Called Love. And if you're familiar with that title, it's a similar laugh out loud kind of story. So The Way You Make Me Feel is about a girl named Clara Shin. She lives for pranks and disruption, kind of like Big Nate, sounds like. So she actually goes a little too far, and her dad sentences her to a summer working on his food truck called Cobra. What's really awesome about this book is like the food descriptions. Don't read it, don't listen to it. She ends up working with one of her classmates named Rose Carver. They don't really get along. She's kind of uptight, and really kind of wasn't the summer Clara envisioned for herself. And of course, she meets someone. His name is Hamlet, like Shakespeare's Hamlet. They go into it in the story, and she sort of falls in love and has this whole kind of crazy summer. Just kind of a slice of life sort of story, but definitely some representation there. A lot of culture represented, so I do think this is a really great story if students are looking for that. Again, remind me a little bit to All the Boys I Loved Before kind of story, just a lot of nuance to explore and fall in love with, a lot of characters to fall in love with. I think it's just a great story. I was so glad to get it. A little bit more appropriate for maybe our high school age students.
Yes, for sure.
But I'm excited to get this story, and I think it would be amazing as an audiobook.
So I have a little more intel as well, because this was also recommended to me because of one of my other favorite books in the entire universe. And I will be honest with you, I'm rereading it right now because I feel like with everything happening in the world, I feel like, I can't breathe. So I'm rereading favorites. So I heard about this book because it was recommended to me after I read and shouted about Emergency Contact a million times by Mary H.K. Choi. They were like, if you want some similar, like super laugh out loud funny, also like great Asian representation of characters, like this is really, really a wonderful book to get involved with. I liked this book better than To All the Boys I've Loved Before. In terms of writing, I did, and the audiobook is hilarious. So this book I can highly recommend it both as an ebook and an audiobook, but definitely give the audiobook a chance because Emily does a great job with the characters. I read it and then I listened to it and I laughed harder at the audiobook than I did when reading it because her characterization is just spot on. So I think students are really going to love this.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, next up.
The Strange Case of Origami Yoda by Tom Engelberger. This is a graphic novel, if that wasn't clear. We were really, really excited to get this one. Obviously, anything Star Wars is
my gosh,
exciting.
Yes.
We're kind of coming off the heels of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus with Baby Yoda, so this just felt very of the zeitgeist. So we were super excited to get this. Also spotlighting the dynamics of a sixth grade class. Dwight, a self-proclaimed loser, talks to his classmates via an uncannily wise and omniscient Origami Yoda. Yoda is able to predict the date of pop quizzes, guesses who stole the classroom Shakespeare bust, and saves a classmate from popularity-crushing embarrassment with some well-timed advice. One of Dwight's classmates, Tommy, wonders how this can be and sets out to solve the mystery of Origami Yoda and how he is able to see the future. So a lot of mystery there. It's adorable. Super cute format. Origami Yoda. Origami Yoda is the cutest thing. Not as cute as Baby Yoda, to be fair, but also just a great story to get excited about. It's a really fun format. I always like to talk about formats like this because it's a great one to appeal to maybe a struggling reader who doesn't really show interest in reading. Same thing with an audiobook though as well, because again, you pick up on the humor and the sarcasm. But this one's just really great. As a mom, it's a great story. It's a great story to share with your kids if you're a parent listening today. I was really excited about this one.
Is the origami kind of throughout as well? Like, can you see him? I love that because I feel like there's that visual aspect. It's almost like bringing in like a craft or an art, a form of art into reading and literature, which I always think is really cool, especially for someone who might not necessarily connect with words the same way, to have something that's really visual to latch onto and kind of see the mechanics of how paper is folded and stuff. I just think, like, what a brilliant idea. That's such a great idea.
Authors, their brains. The great thing about Origami Yoda, I do want to mention, it's in a series, so hopefully if you kind of inspire that interest, there might be, wanting to explore
more in the future. That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Okay, and then the third one, I mean, as a lover of the 90s, this one's going to appeal to me for sure.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
So we actually have been lucky to feature Nickelodeon content for the past couple of years in our program. It always circulates super well for a reason. This one, Frog Fight, published by Nickelodeon, is a read-along, which I love read-alongs. Again, as a mom, I have a little boy. This content is actually perfect for our young readers, recommended from ages 2 to 5. You can go a little older if you want. It's a funny story. But the benefit of a read-along is it's audio narration along with read-along text. So it actually highlights the words as it's read along to the child. So if you have a beginning reader, it really connects them to the text. And with all of our audio, we have such great narrators. So it's just it's funny. It's cute.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
Yeah, I love our read-alongs too, because they're real voice actors. They're not like robot voices, as you might think. It's not like a bot or something reading over the text. And I found too that on some of them, I feel like the pacing is usually pretty good. But if you did have a struggling reader or someone who maybe wanted to learn words, you actually use this format to learn. You can slow down the narration speed as well. And my actual favorite thing is that you can zoom in on the graphics. So it's like, I was showing my husband read-alongs as a format for the first time because he'd never seen one, and he zoomed in on the wallpaper of a read-along the other day, and there was like a hilarious calendar on the wall that he could see, and we just like cracked up over it for like 10 minutes. We're easily amused in quarantine right now, so some slack.
Do whatever you need to do. No shame here.
Right. Well, this is great. I love all three of these formats of audiobooks, graphic novels or comic books, and read-alongs. We've got a whole bunch of everything in this in Sweet Reads this year, so I'm really, really excited about it. I hope everyone tries a new format. Maybe give an audiobook a try, give something new a try. Try one of these with your younger readers. Or, you know what? I used to teach high school, and I felt like high schoolers were like, give me something just easy and fun to read for a while. They don't necessarily have to be challenged 24/7. We're all feeling challenged right now, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what we wanted to really, make known about this program. We do have some curriculum supported books in here, and you can definitely use them. We'll talk about that next week, but you can definitely use a lot of these books for learning opportunities, but they're also just really great escapes, which I think we need right now. So I think this is a really great program to push.
Me too. And so next week, we'll come back. We'll talk about some curriculum tie-ins, and then we can dive in a little bit more deeply on some of the marketing that we have available as well. So join us next week. And Christina, thanks so much for talking to me today, and stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you.